Hello, it's Film Frenzy, and we got our first major award show of 2020. This is the Golden Globe. So today, I'll be recapping it a bit and talking about what it means for the future of the award shows this year. Let's get right into this. I don't know about you guys, but I was really excited after that Golden Globes award show. I thought it went really well, and it got me more excited about award season than many of the past years. Lots of that has to do with the excellent movies that I've seen that are the ones being nominated. In addition to, I thought Ricky Gervais did a great job. There was a lot of excellent speeches, and it was overall a really fun time. But for today, I'll be mainly focusing on the awards that were given, the winners, the nominees, and what that means going forward with primarily the Oscars and the Oscar nominations, but also other award shows like the SAG Awards and so on. So, in the past, I have done like a predictions video where I talk about what I hope wins and what I think will win, but I didn't think that was necessary here, though I did do predictions, and I wouldn't say they're too hot. Out of the 25 total categories, I got 7 correct. That sounds terrible, yes, but you have to think that I don't know much about TV, and that's something I want to change in 2020. Watch more shows, and probably have a bit more content to deal with TV shows on this channel. You know, it is Film Frenzy, but it can be about more than just that. It can be TV and Film Frenzy. But for this, I really just knew about the movies, and I actually got 6 out of the 14 film categories correct. So I knew a little bit what I was talking about, but nevertheless, there was definitely some that were surprises. So I'm going to quickly run through some of the TV ones. There were definitely some surprises. There were some shoo-ins that I just didn't get. But it seems like it's usually the same, main shows that are winning these. Though there were some new ones I thought was cool. So TV supporting actor was Stellan Skarsgård. He gave a fun speech where he talked about not having eyebrows. TV supporting actress was for Patricia Arquette for The Act, which was like a mini-series. Limited series actor was for Russell Crowe, who wasn't in attendance. Actress was for Michelle Williams. Limited series was for Chernobyl. That's the one TV category that I got correct in my prediction. TV comedy actor was Rami Youssef. I didn't know the show, but his speech was really fun and entertaining, and he seemed like a really likable guy. I kind of want to watch the show now. TV comedy actress was for Phoebe Waller-Bridge for Fleabag. I thought it was going to be Rachel Brosnahan, like it usually is for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. But there's been a lot of new TV content. I've realized that the TV landscape is changing a bit, and there's a lot of new shows winning awards, which I think is very cool. It kind of comes in waves every few years, and it seems like we're getting to a new wave right now. TV comedy was Fleabag, again, another new one. TV drama was Succession, again, another new one. I thought it would be like The Crown, like it's been a lot. And TV drama actress was Olivia Colman, and TV drama actor was Brian Cox. Then we get into the film category, so these are ones I'm talking about a bit more. So song, I thought maybe it would be Into the Unknown, because it's a really great song. Frozen 2, Let It Go won in the past a lot, and maybe this isn't the same as Let It Go, but it seemed like it got a lot of just acclaim and people talking. But it was actually I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocketman, which I'm yet to see, but I'm gonna see it really shortly. I'm really excited about it. It's really cool because it's composed by Elton John and Bernie Taupin, so it was really great to see them up on the awards stage. I thought that was a really cool thing. That's never happened at an award show before, where the two of them are working together and win an award. That was very nice. I guess that means maybe it's a front runner for the Oscars. Very surprising, because I feel like that song just didn't get people talking. But I guess maybe the critics landscape and the foreign press seemed to like it a bit more and talked about it a bit more than Into the Unknown. Very interesting. Score, I thought Thomas Newman was really going to get it for 1917, because that was one of the best scores I've ever heard. It was amazing, but the one that I thought maybe also stood a chance, and I'm still really happy for, is I'm not going to try, I'm going to mispronounce her name, but it's Hidar Gunadotti. I completely mispronounce it. She's a European composer, and I thought that was really impressive work she did for the film Joker, which had an amazing score. It was very unnerving and perfectly complemented it. I think I talked a bit about the score in my Joker review, and those are 2 phenomenal scores. Those are the 2 best of the year, so if it was going to be 1917, I'm really glad that she won. Very deserving. Screenplay. This is one I was really upset about and very shocked about. So I thought Noah Baumbach was a shoo-in, because I saw Marriage Story recently and was blown away. The script especially, it's just such a screenplay-based movie with all the dialogue, and it was so amazing with the script, and it just fit the characters perfectly. But because of course it's Quentin Tarantino, Quentin Tarantino won for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If you see my review, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I thought it went on way too long, and it was just kind of like him like being Quentin Tarantino instead of like having like this like firm plot structure that he follows and really gets like interesting and like delves into the characters. There were some good moments and some very funny lines, but it felt just like too loose, but not in like a good way. And that was definitely a disappointment of the night. That was probably the biggest disappointment for me personally. Director, very happy about this. Sam Mendes won for 1917, which if you don't know this, it's my favorite movie of the year so far. It's one of my favorites of this entire decade. Well, actually last decade, so 2020s. And he completely deserved it. I mean, I think he's pretty much going to win it for the Oscars unless some like big upset happens. I mean, Todd Phillips could get it. Quentin Tarantino could get it. It's a really strong batch of nominees. And don't even forget Martin Scorsese for The Irishman. I mean, there's so many big directors firing on all cylinders. Don't forget like Greta Gerwig or the director, I forget her name, for The Farewell. They all did a really phenomenal job. Supporting actor. So I didn't know. I heard that people were saying Brad Pitt, but I had this feeling that maybe it'd be Tom Hanks. I mean, he did win like that big Cecil B. DeMille Award, which was a fantastic montage, a fantastic speech. Same with Ellen DeGeneres for the Carol Burnett Award. Those are just really fun to watch. Two of my favorite celebrities. I thought they're so likable on screen, and just to see those montages was just really like a great highlight of the night. It was a big part of why I love this award show so much. So yeah, supporting actor was Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He did a great job. I don't think he was the most deserving, probably. I haven't seen a ton of the supporting actor ones. I do want to highlight, I thought Ray Liotta and Alan Alda in Marriage Story were really great. They didn't get nominated. Makes sense, but I thought they were really phenomenal nevertheless. But it seems like it was a pretty solid batch of nominees. There's some big actors like Al Pacino and Joe Pesci. But Brad Pitt went away with it. I think he's probably the front runner for the Oscars at this point, but the best indicator will, of course, be the SAG Awards, because that's a bit more in line with the Oscar voters. So it makes sense, but this gives a good, like, early estimate. And supporting actress, so I thought maybe it would be Jennifer Lopez for Hustlers. It seemed like people thought it could be like a kind of a dark horse candidate, but like a really cool one. Supporting actress this year, I feel like wasn't like the strongest category. It kind of switches year to year. Like supporting actor feels very strong, and like lead actress feels insanely strong. But supporting actress, it felt like there wasn't like a lot of big ones, and so Laura Dern was able to walk away with it. She was really amazing in Marriage Story. I didn't really see it coming because like her part was sizable, but it wasn't like massive, and it wasn't like a jaw-dropping performance. It was just really excellent. So I thought maybe it would be like Jennifer Lopez because it seemed like there was a lot of hype about her, but that wasn't the case. Foreign film, this was a shoo-in. Parasite. I mean, The Farewell is great too, but Parasite, I mean, it's probably going to get nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. Bong Joon-ho got nominated for Best Director at the Golden Globes. There's a lot of talk about it, and I can't wait to watch it. I'm really excited. I've heard from everyone that I've talked to that it's amazing, which is really awesome to see a lot of great like foreign language films represented this year. I feel like that's been something that's increasing in recent years with like films like Roma and now like The Farewell and Parasite being nominated for like non-foreign language awards too. Like they're crossing over, and it's just really cool to see that happen because there's so many great films outside of America, of course, or not in the English language since The Farewell is technically an American film. Animated, this was one of the biggest shockers of the night. Toy Story 4 did not win. I thought it was a shoo-in because, I mean, it's Toy Story 4. The only one of the nominees I've seen this so far is the latest How to Train Your Dragon, which I wasn't a huge fan of. So I was cool to see that not get the award, but it was actually Missing Link from Leica Studios, and that's one of my favorite studios. They made classics like Coraline and Paranorman, really, really great films, unique films, and I love that. So it was interesting to see Missing Link win, because, I mean, they're always nominated, they always make good movies, and I feel like Missing Link was just kind of ignored at the box office, which is unfortunate. I can't wait to watch it, because the voice cast is really impressive, the reviews were good, so it's cool to see it win, because it's a bit of a dark horse. At the Oscars, my guess is it still will be Toy Story 4, because that's a bit more mainstream, and like, because it's, you know, mostly American voters, it feels like Toy Story 4 more has it in the bag, but this makes Missing Link a really good contender, which is pretty interesting. Now we're moving on to the actor and actresses for comedies, which I actually got both of them correct, and I thought I was pretty happy with it. Awkwafina was the really easy one where it seemed like she really was going to win, because all the major actress contenders for like the Oscars and stuff were in the drama category, except for Awkwafina, who has a good chance of being nominated for Best Actress, and deservingly so. So she easily had in the bag. I think she deserved to win. I'm very happy she won. She was amazing in The Farewell. And then Taron Egerton won for Best Actor in a Comedy for Rocketman, which I've heard his performance is amazing. Again, can't wait to see it. And I think that one made sense too. And I think he has a really good shot. Probably will be nominated for Best Lead Actor at the Oscars. It'll be interesting to see what actors in the drama category for the Golden Globes will be cut out of it to make room for actors like Awkwafina and Taron Egerton, or if they're not even going to be cut out. So that goes to actor and actress in a drama. And so Joaquin Phoenix was kind of a low-key shoe-in. I mean, there were some other big contenders like Adam Driver, who was amazing, but Joaquin Phoenix gave such an amazing performance, one of his best performances, and that's saying something because it's Joaquin Phoenix we're talking about. He gave a pretty interesting speech too. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really interesting. He's always just crazy watching him up there, and now whenever I hear his voice, I just think of Arthur Fleck, and I get really like chills in my body because it's the Joker, which is kind of cool and just shows you how enigmatic and just affecting his performance was. And I was really happy to see him win. That was completely deserving. Actress, I was kind of hoping for Scarlett Johansson. She was amazing, best performance of her career in Marriage Story. But that wasn't the case. I've heard a lot of people say it. I'm still waiting to watch Judy. I'm going to watch it very soon. Renee Zellweger won. She gave another interesting speech. It felt like there were more unique speeches this year at the Golden Globes. The actors were just kind of going all crazy and, being what, people make fun of about actors. And it made it more entertaining. I've heard she's amazing. I'm sure it was deserving. Although, I was a little disappointed that Scarlett Johansson didn't win because I feel like she's usually not in these award show movies and she usually isn't nominated. Even though her roles like in action movies like with Black Widow she's really good at, I feel like she doesn't always show it off completely, so I thought it was a little disappointing to see her not win, but that's okay. And going on finally to the two big awards. Motion Picture Comedy. So I thought it was going to be Once Upon a Time. It was. Again, I didn't love the film, but I can see the appeal, especially coming from all these award shows. It's a film about movies, and you know how they love that. I mean, La La Land, even though Moonlight beat it. Anyway, that was disappointing a little bit, but still understandable. And Motion Picture Drama, this was a bit of a surprise for me. So I really thought it was going to be The Irishman, because, it's The Irishman. It's this massive 3-hour-long Scorsese epic. It's a gangster film. You got these actors like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel, all coming together. It's insane. But the film didn't win a single award at the night, which I thought was the biggest shocker for sure. And instead, which made me very happy because you know how much I love 1917. 1917 walked away with it, and that makes it possibly an Oscar frontrunner. It's a little early to say because, again, it is a British film, and this is the Hollywood Foreign Press, so it's not exactly American, and that makes it, gives a bit of an advantage to films like Irishman or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They'll all, of course, be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, but it'll be interesting to see which one wins. In addition, don't discount Joker or Marriage Story. I think they still do have a decent shot, and it just shows you how quality the films that are being nominated this year are. My three favorite films of the year, Marriage Story, 1917, and Joker, are all big contenders here, which is really awesome to see the award shows really get stuff right, because I feel like last year was a big disappointment. And to sum this up, it leaves me really hopeful and optimistic about the Oscars and just further into awards season, how it's going to all shape up. It'll be really interesting to see, but overall, I thought the Golden Globes was a great award show. I had a really fun time watching it last night. There were some big surprises, but overall, it wasn't as surprising as I thought it would be, which is cool. I was fine with it. And I think it leaves you in an interesting place for the Oscar nominations to come out. So I thought this is a perfect time to just talk a little bit about what I think the nominations will be. Just like an early prediction, because I'm not going to make a whole prediction video on it myself. So usually it's about 8 to 10. I think it'll probably be 8 or 9 this year. That's what it always is. The Irishman, definitely. Once Upon a Time, definitely. Joker, Marriage Story, 1917. Those are the big ones. And then you get to some more questions. And I think it'll be interesting to see which ones other ones do. I think Parasite has a really good chance. So does Rocketman, I would say. Jojo Rabbit, it's kind of like a dark horse one that people weren't thinking, but now it seems like maybe it actually will, which would be really, really interesting to see. The Farewell has a small shot. And maybe A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which seemed like the front runner, like coming into November, but then it just kind of fizzled out, which I felt like was a lot of movies this year. I'm really, really interested in seeing what's going to happen because I feel like there's so many good contenders, and there's only going to be 8 or 9 probably. So thank you for watching. I mean, I'm really excited to see what happens. Make sure to stay tuned to my initial reaction of the Oscar nominations when they're announced, along with I'll do a video on the SAG Awards when they come out. I really appreciate you tuning in. I know it was a long video. I'll see you guys later from Film Frenzy. Make sure to stay tuned to a lot more content coming soon. Goodbye.